Hi everyone! Welcome to my 15th live stream broadcast. For the people who are new, or if you're watching the recording of this live event up on YouTube, this is how I'm going to try to run this chat, where anybody who posts a comment or posts a question, I will read their username and then read whatever their comment or question is and then respond to it. And this is the point where I usually include a really big disclaimer for if I mispronounce your username or something. I apologize already, so I'm sorry about that. And if I pause a little bit, I'm generally trying to get caught up in the comments, I'll try to warn you, like, hey, I'm not just, being dumb. Although there are definitely those times where the brain just kind of blanks out, especially when I'm trying to keep up with like 5 people at once. But usually we do pretty well. I have fun anyway. I hope you guys do too. Alright, cool. Peter Duffy, hello to D and D-Dad. Because for those of you who don't know, I have my dad / co-producer / family support over off camera here. And he helps out. Alright, Jennifer Young, no issues here. Can see and hear you just fine. Awesome. Oh, one thing I do with the live broadcasts is we rebroadcast in both like a mobile bandwidth and then in a high definition bandwidth. So if you're having some problems with buffering or the quality or whatever, if refreshing doesn't work, like hitting F5, then maybe drop down to the lower, reduce the quality, use the lower setting, the mobile broadcast. So that seems to have been working out for the last couple of times we've tried it. Alright, getting caught back up on some comments. Lance Stone, and you're not chatbot. No, I'm certainly not. You will hear me just be me. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's a little silly, especially when I get caught off guard with something. I'll just be like, But, that's part of the fun. This is entirely unscripted. And then I have my standard water bottle that I'm reusing that has Mio water in it. Cherry blackberry today, it's delicious. Okami Jigoku, good. Couldn't make it last week due to I was at a job interview. I hope the interview went well. I always get nervous like right before I go into an interview, and then when I'm sitting down and starting it, I'm okay. Yeah, usually once I'm right there and performing, or interacting rather, not performing, I do better. Haven't heard back yet. Oh, well, I'll have my fingers crossed for you. Let me get caught back up. Oh, I forgot. There were a number of you who have asked me through my Facebook, through YouTube, through LiveStream, to share some of my art projects with everybody. And so I brought a couple of pieces that I've worked on, just some stuff. So I will go show some of that throughout the broadcast. Scott Messino, did you hear about the big scandal, the internet backlash involving Troy Industries and the recent hirings? Not that I can think of. No, and nobody shared it with me on Facebook either, I don't think. I'll have to look into that. Sounds scandalous. Is there anybody in the chat who's familiar, who can like update me on what happened? Okay, getting caught back up. Nate Schultz, Dest, who is the most famous person you have ever met? When I was in high school, I had some friends who knew one of the actors for CSI Las Vegas, and so he came by to visit the friends of friends, and I happened to also be there at the same time, and I just went like totally excited, like fangirled him. Was really just silly and awkward. I was like, I really like your television show, you're cool. He must have thought I was a big dork, but I am a big dork, so, Other than that, I have seen a couple of like famous or celebrities at SHOT Show, but haven't really been introduced to them as far as like I've seen Lou Ferrigno, I've seen Gunny, or yeah, I've seen a couple of other famous people. I've seen a lot, or I've met personally a lot of people who are famous within the firearms industry, which is pretty cool, like Julie Golub or a number of other like USPSA competition shooters, Ben Staker and his wife, they're both so much fun to be around. And then I've met Tori Nanaka, she's really pleasant, and Molly, is her last name Smith, I believe, one of the junior shooters for Smith & Wesson. She is an absolute doll. I had so much fun just chit-chatting with her. Okay, let me get caught back up. RDVS87, have you met Colleen War? Funny story is, like, we have chatted, we've conversated, and we even collaborated on a video, but never in person. We just worked together through the internet and through footage. Talked to him on the phone a couple of times, but not in person. I was really hoping to meet him at the NRA show this past year, but that was the same area. I had some other stuff going on, some family stuff that I just couldn't miss. So I didn't make it to the NRA show this year. But one day, it would be really cool, just because he's very nice to talk to on the phone, and he's, well, just as intelligent and quick-witted as he is in his videos. Jofa Beats, Keita can't drive golf cart slow. Oh man, you think Keita can't drive golf cart slow? Ben was a maniac on the golf cart. It was an absolute blast. Everybody was like, we were all hanging on to every surface we could grab in the back of that golf cart, or what's it called? The Gator? Is that what it was called?
Yes,
but even so, we're all bouncing all over the place. I swore like 5 different times he was going to knock like a stage over or something, but oh man, that was a bunch of fun. Let me get caught back up. There's some developments on what happened with Troy. Okami Jigoku. They hired an FBI sniper who was involved in a hostage situation that went wrong, but it wasn't the guy who took the shot, so I wouldn't knock the guy too much. Oh, wow. I haven't heard anything about that. That would be interesting to get a little bit more information on. If anyone has like a link to some kind of article or something, feel free to share it on my Facebook, facebook.com/fate.of.destiny. I'm pretty good at keeping up with that stuff, and it's easy to stay in touch with me that way. Jesse Vanderhayden, sad day on Saturday, had to send my XDS back to factory. I just wrote an article about that on the Arms Guide just today, actually. I went as far as to like follow the directions that they recommend of unloading it and not using it, not carrying it, not shooting it until you verify, but I haven't actually looked at the serial number yet, so I need to do that. Actually, I'll probably do it as soon as I get done with this live chat.
Probably both suspect because you got a folder.
Yeah, both the models that I have, the 9mm and the 45, I received for test and eval, so they're pretty early models, so they're both probably suspect. And I will be bummed to have to send it back, but I do appreciate the steps that Springfield has taken to, guarantee everyone's safety. They're proactively having people send things in, and they pay for shipping and everything, so at least there's that much. By the way, I had some stuff come up this week, so I didn't get the chance to promote this live stream event. So if you guys wouldn't mind, share it out to your friends, and we can have some more people join in on the conversation. Colleen Barnett. Hi, Destiny. I can't feed, so I'm missing the convo, but I'm here nonetheless. Hello, everyone. Oh, hi, Colleen. I'm glad that you were able to make it for a little bit anyway. Sorry. I don't know if it's like is it your computer not working, or you're just busy? Either way, thanks for saying hello. Alright, getting caught back up on some comments here. Nate Schultz. Oh, it's on the bang switch. Oh, no, I should have checked that. That makes sense. Mac's really good at staying on top of developments like that. Alright. And Nate Schultz, Dest, I linked and tagged you on the Facebook page. Thank you. I'll definitely find it that way. Share like a boss. Born Freeman, has everyone contacted the representatives about the ATF and NFA changes? Which changes specifically? Lance Stone. Well, having it at 2 in the morning doesn't really help the promotion. Oh, are you overseas? I'm sorry. I am a total night owl, so I have like a ridiculous schedule, but I try to host live streams when they're going to be convenient for the widest range of people. It's really hard to try to find a time that works best for everybody. Because even with like being in the United States or viewers in the United States, I have a lot of people who watch who are like security guards who work third shift, or people who are, I even have like people who are teachers who you need to get up really early. So I apologize. I host it for an hour and a half to try to give more wiggle room, and then if you missed this stream or a part of it, I'll upload it to youtube.com/FateofDestinee afterward. I believe the live stream from last week will go up live tonight, right after this conversation. Charger 8924, what shooting-related injuries have you had? I've shot so much that I gave myself a blister. That's about as much as I've had go wrong, though. Thankfully, I've never had any like serious injuries. I have had like slight burns from casings, but that's pretty much it. Nothing to make me like freak out or throw the gun. Not that I do that anyway, but. Okami Jigoku. So, are you going to the NRA convention next year? Yes! Definitely. I will be there. So if you guys are there, totally look me up and see if I'm in the area that you are. I will post more information as the date actually approaches, because it's kind of far away right now, yet, unfortunately. I will have some updates and stuff, though. I'll be going to SHOT Show, too. I am already totally stoked about that. The last couple of years that I've gone have been really, really great experiences. Met a lot of great people and got a lot of content out there. So I'm just hoping to do the same thing both for the future NRA show and SHOT. Anthony Di Giacomo. Gosh, I really hope I pronounced that right. I'm so sorry. Again, if I don't say your names right, I really try. Where did you get your bullet necklace? I get a lot of questions about this. I had a giveaway that I hosted, and one of the winners, or two of the winners, got Surefire flashlights. And one of the people to whom I sent a Surefire was just really excited and really pleased to have won that. And so he asked if he could make me a little charm out of titanium. So he actually produced a little video showing me how he made it, and then he sent it off to me, and I've worn it ever since. And of course, it's in the shape of 45 because 45 is my favorite round to shoot. One of them, anyway. It's pretty high up there. SHOT is months away, LOL. Yeah, but if you don't start planning ahead of time, it's a lot to try to arrange. I mean, for those of us who don't live out in Vegas anyway, I suppose if you live there, it's a little easier to manage. Born Freeman. The changes. Obama started executive actions to stop importation. Oh, I have seen some stuff about this. To stop importations of some relics and making prints and pics mandatory on trust. Yeah, I had forgotten about that. I'm totally with you. Go and talk to your representatives. Let them know how you feel, because if you don't speak up, how else will they know that there is that conservative, or firearm-friendly, rather, that firearm-friendly industry or culture who would really... It'll definitely impact us in a negative way, and the only thing we can do about it is to actually let people know. It would definitely impact our ability to get like an old M1 Garand, which I would totally love. It's one of the guns on my always increasing list, but part of that is part of the reason that's like disappointing to me is that's a piece of American history, and law-abiding citizens are being deprived of it.
Yeah, civilian marksmanship
the civilian marksmanship program is, going to have a huge impact. RDBS87, can you fly with that necklace? I had a 762 by 39 keychain that was taken from me at an airport. The stupid French. What I do when I've flown with this is I take it off and I have it in a separate little baggie and I have it labeled as jewelry. And the fact that it is not even a cartridge, it's a solid piece of titanium, it's always gone through security.
There's a little note, we put a note sticker that said solid titanium inert.
Yeah. So I just have it labeled and separated from everything else so that if they go through and dig through my luggage and they find it, it says, it's inert, solid titanium, and everything else. What also helps is there is a little ring that the necklace goes through that is actually part of the titanium charm. So it looks even more like a piece of jewelry because of that. Thankfully, I haven't had any problems with it. I would be really bummed if I didn't get to have it. Although I didn't bring, anytime I've flown, I haven't brought my my bracelet that has the dummy 223 rounds, just because I didn't want to have to deal with it. I get a lot of looks with that when I wear it in public. Of course, I wear it anyway, but it depends on where I'm going. If there are certain places I'm going where I know it's not going to be received well, then I just don't want to, make waves. But okay. Nate Schultz, if he bans foreign imports, Nagants will be $300 before we know it, haha. Yeah, that would totally bite. I love Nagants. That, and part of the fact that part of what makes them so appealing to me is that they are affordable. It is a gun that I can, reasonably affordable, that I can collect if I want. Dmitry Volkov, I have an AR question. I'm having problems shooting my 10.5 SBR. My arms are too damn long, even with the stock fully extended. I don't have that problem. You could just sell it to me. That would totally solve your problem. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you some options to consider. Dmitry Volkov, have you ever flown with a firearm desk? No, not yet, because since I got my carry permit, most of the places to which I have flown, either the permit doesn't, or it isn't recognized, or I'm going to be at an event where I can't carry and I'd have to have it locked up for an extended amount of time, like in my hotel or something, and I don't feel comfortable with that, so not yet. But I have a lot of friends who have flown with their firearms. I know it can be done. Just a tiny bit of hassle. Let's see. Jennifer Young, how many Garans have been used in crimes? 0. It's just ridiculous what is going on in this country. I'd have to say I completely agree with you. It really, the whole premise of restricting law-abiding citizens' rights to punish and to try to prevent people who are already breaking the law from more breaking of the law, it just doesn't even make sense to me. And that part is frustrating in and of itself, because it seems that in these sort of knee-jerk reactions to some of the awful tragedies that have occurred, some people want to just put in place any kind of legislation that feels good, instead of actually looking at, okay, here's our problem, and here is a solution that has measured effects, and we can actually identify cases where it has worked before, and we know that it'll work for this. It's like there's no research that goes, not enough research that goes into those kind of decisions. Chris Miller, I've flown out of Honolulu, LAX, and duels with firearms and no major problems. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who've managed it just fine. Even with, I had a friend who flew with one of his prized precision rifles and ended up getting from point A to B, no problems.
I'll go with having
Oh yeah, I heard Patriot Nurse lost a gun when she flew with it. I hope she got that back. That's really I would be so crushed because I save up. It takes me so much time to save up for a gun that I want, and I do all this research beforehand, and I've already had to wait the stupid 2-day waiting period if it's a handgun, which, yeah. And so then by the time I've purchased my guns, I'm already really excited about it when I get to bring them home. And then shooting them just kind of nails that enthusiasm, that I have for the shooting sports and attaches it to that firearm. I'd be really slow to give one up. I have yet to sell a gun that I've purchased. Everything may not be like for self-defense, but everything that I buy because I like it, Born Freeman, the idea is to lower legal ownership over generations, making confiscation a reality. That's one of the things that really concerns me about like having universal background checks, because how do you have effective universal background checks if you don't have a firearms registry? And if you have, it can become dangerous. We can get into dangerous territory very quickly. Ed Boog, will you be at the shot on a certain day? I'm planning on attending every day. The last 2 years that I've attended, I made it there for the whole event. Although I haven't bought tickets yet or paid for my hotel, so that will definitely be a factor.
I can't guarantee it until you.
I can't guarantee that, but I should be there for the whole event. I guess I'll find out once I take care of all of that. But anyway, that's, I still have a little bit of time. That stuff can get expensive, all the travel and everything. Jennifer Young, I'm so jealous of people who can freely own firearms. Oh, you wouldn't happen to live in, like, New York or New Jersey or California, would ya? Those are just places I would not be able to live. Even Illinois, I wouldn't want to live in Illinois. And I travel through there because, it's not terribly far away, and I've gone to stuff like the training I've taken in Kentucky, or when I visit my family in Tennessee, or when I go to when I went to the shoot, the Corey and Erica's shoot in their range in Indiana. Like, it just ends up being convenient to travel through Illinois, and it is a pain in the rump as far as like their restrictive firearms policies. I wouldn't want to live there. Jofa Beats, dang, ... I just crashed. Can you repeat the last 5 minutes of the chat for me, LOL? I will have it uploaded by next week. Sorry. Oh, and even after the chat ends, it posts to new.livestream.com/FateofDestinee. So if you missed something immediately after the chat, you can go back through it and look through it, or if there's something particularly interesting or amusing or whatever that you wanted to see, you can do that right here. Last week, the stream that posted to LiveStream, there was some weird hiccup. It decided to just start another production in the middle of our broadcast, which was dumb. But I do have the full video for YouTube that will be going up very shortly. Well, in an hour-ish or so. By the way, what is a good time for you guys to be posting these things to YouTube if you wanted to go catch up or see one that you missed or something? So, let's see here. Getting caught up. I'm just looking for a good time to post these things. I want to try to be as convenient for you guys as possible. But I don't know if you don't tell me. Moose Legion. Corey and Erica just had a baby. I know! I sent her a text message when I found out. I'm so excited for them. One of the fun things about being my age is that a number of my friends are now getting to that point where they're getting married, they're having kids and stuff. So I get to be excited about other people's babies and not have any of my own. It is like an ideal situation. Plus, their little Noah is freaking adorable, judging by the pictures they posted to Facebook. I'm super happy for them. Old, dirty, and smelly. I'm sorry, I'm like a 5-year-old, and I guess I'm not very mature, but that made me chuckle. They are trying to ban the bullet button in California. I heard something about that. It's funny because, I don't know, it just seems like you can't win out there. Lance Stone, which leads me to the question. Destiny. How do you like your CZ82 so far? It's a solid gun. I've had no issues with it with reliability. It's just fun to shoot too. It's one of the few or only blowback pistols I own, and so just having that different type of operation makes it feel different when you're shooting it compared to most of the like short recoil operated firearms I have. And the ergonomics are pretty solid. Capacity's pretty decent. It's a great little plinker. Let's see here. Jennifer Young. I have to wait to get a permission slip, the FoD card. Ah, you are in Illinois. In order to buy a gun. I'm still waiting for it to be processed, which completely sucks. Yeah, I do not envy you. I'm sorry you have to go through all those hoops. I should not complain having to wait 2 days to get a hold of a handgun. But I am terribly impatient. I'm a bad waiter. I just got juice or water on my nose. That was really sweet. First day with my new skull? I don't know. Colleen Barnett. Scott Messino. I can't stream tonight at all. Keep stopping. Oh, well that bites. Have you tried using the mobile broadcast instead of the high def? Oh, speaking of babies, it just occurred to me. Joe, don't you have a new little granddaughter who has entered the world? Congratulations again. Jesse Vanderhayden gives you a couple days to order extra magazines and holsters. You know, that is a very positive way of looking at that. I'll have to try to remember that the next time I'm pouting that I can't pick up my new pistol or whatever. Guardian Reaper. Here in Canada, it takes 6 months on average to get a gun license. What a bother. Lance Stone. I was waiting half a year with approved papers to get my license, due to me not being of an age for my categories. That's so much like paperwork and red tape. That's crazy. Jova Beats. Yep, her name is Ivy Rose. Thanks, Destiny. Oh, that's super pretty. Kenneth A. Fuller. I have my FoD card, my Utah concealed carry, and have taken the NRA course, and I'm still having to wait. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done complaining. I feel like I've got it easy compared to some of you folks out in, California and Illinois and such. Moose Legion. I can buy any semi-auto gun within an hour in Alaska. That is pretty rad. Although I don't think I could survive Alaska. Wisconsin is already too freezing for me. Although today the weather is pretty nice out. We don't get enough of it. I don't know. For the firearms, it might be worth it, but... Okami Jigoku. Yeah, it's stupid. I hate the bullet button. I was surprised when they almost put it for handguns as well. Jeez, I think the list of what you guys can shoot is shorter than what you can't shoot. Jeff Eames. The good thing about Vermont is no license or training to carry and no waiting period. I don't mind taking training to get my concealed carry permit. Actually, I really liked the training class that I had because my instructor went through not just, the gun safety, these are the parts, this is how it operates, this is how, these are safe carry methods, but he also went through the mindset of concealed carry, and that was important. That was probably one of the most important takeaways I had from the whole class. And of course walking me through all of the legislation and what were the restrictions and what was acceptable and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad that I took the course. I probably still would have taken the course even if I didn't have to. By the way, I usually asked this earlier, but where is everybody from? I know we've got a little bit of a spread. Some people in Illinois and Vermont and Alaska. Lance Stone, I like the training for my license trial. I learned how to field strip so many weapons. Anthony Di Giacomo, who did you take your CCW class with? Actually, I took it with my dad, and...
I think he means who sponsored it. Where did you take it?
Oh, where did I take it? I took it at Fletcher Arms. That's a range that I featured in a number of my videos, and I'm there often. So it seemed like it made sense to take my concealed carry course there. But they were really great. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of answers now for where everybody is stream from where everyone's streaming. So we've got Minneapolis, Arizona, Alberta, Canada, Florida, Arizona, Indiana, Heartland, Wisconsin, Brazil. Oh, that's cool. Woohoo! Kentucky is in the house. The Grand Duke. No, I don't actually know how to pronounce. I think that's Duchy of Tuscany. I know that's in Italy, though. At least I have that going for me. Minnesota. What? Tampa, Florida. Miami Beach. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Indiana. Czech Republic. Oh, wow. That is one place I really, really would like to visit. I'm a huge art history just fan. I've taken probably like 4 courses on it now. I love it. And some of the architecture out of the Czech Republic is some of the most gorgeous stuff I've ever seen. And I'd love to one day go see it in person. One day, probably in like, 50 years or something when I'm all like retired, but it would still be awesome. LA, California, Canada, Ontario, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yay for Kentucky! I was in fabulous Osh Vegas this weekend, back in the burbs of Chicago now. Iowa, Excelsior Springs, Missouri, Arizona. If you have a CCW, skip the background check. That is so convenient. I wish they did that here. Reno, Nevada. Oshkosh. Took my class at Fletcher's also. Over 3 years ago for Utah. Lake Mills, Wisconsin. Wisconsin represent. Wasilla, Alaska. Yes. All right. West Virginia. Okay. Let's get through some more comments and questions here. Born Freeman. I could buy any item I want within an hour, too. Most of my cousins are unscrupulous characters, if you will. Gang members, if you please. Drug dealers, if you might. Nice. The Blue Water Diver. Biggest problem I have right now is the inability to get more than 50 range rounds at a time. Yeah, I've seen some places that are still kind of clamped down, but I've definitely seen loosening up of ammo. I went to Walmart the other day and saw, what was it, like 45?
There were like 10 boxes of 45s.
Yeah, there were like 10 boxes of 45. There
5
was...
days later, after it was stocked.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. They usually stock on a certain day, and it was like 5 days after their usual shipment, and there were still like 5 boxes of 45. There was a ton of 40. And I think there were 3 boxes of 9. It was self-defense 9, but still, I was pretty pleased to see that creeping back. What was awesome too was going to Gander Mountain a couple of days ago, which it was again a few days after their shipment had come in, and they had just tons of 5.56, 223. That was really cool. I've seen a lot of ammo there. They had a ton of 45 too.
Literally hundreds of boxes of 5.56.
Yeah. Literally hundreds of boxes, which was really great to see. And so now I'm more like willing to go and shoot my ARs more, which is cool. But yeah, I'm seeing some places are being a little bit more open-handed with their ammo. All right. Let's get caught back up on some comments here. I'm just reading through. It's funny, every time somebody posts anything new, it pops me back to the beginning of my chat, so then I have to go and scroll. Nate Schultz, Destiny, I heard a rumor that you had finally decided to get a PS4 instead of an Xbox One. Confirm. Whatever. I actually haven't even gotten the Xbox One, or ordered an Xbox One. I figure I'll wait until they work out some of the bugs. But, no way I'm getting a PS4 or Xbox all the way. Come on, man. You gotta know what's up. Although, honestly, I will totally hand it to you. I am way super bummed that I cannot play The Last of Us because it wasn't released for the Xbox. Womp womp. Anthony D. Giacomo. Got my Day 1 edition coming. Xbox One for the win. Chris Miller, PC all the way. We do a little bit of PC playing in the house. Mostly stuff like Civilization, although we haven't played that basically since 5 came out. Then, like, my household was all, everybody needs PC time. Nate Schultz, I can't wait for GTA 5. Whatever, it's like the same game. I have you seen some of the previews for it? It's totally the same. Oh, I'm waiting for the Eric Kamichik. I'm waiting for the Dreamcast too. Oh, Moose Legion, back on the firearms track. I still miss 22, like unicorn farts. That's special. I've seen a little bit more 22. One of the ranges where I go, they had some. So that was kind of cool. I haven't seen it, though, really in, like, Gander. I definitely haven't seen it in Walmart. Not unless they're still the same group of people who come in, like, way early in the morning, and they'll wait until they can get their 3 boxes, and so if there's any 22, they snatch that up, and if there's any 9mm, they'll snatch that up, but I'm at least seeing some of it around. I got, like, maybe a month ago? No, it was more like 3 weeks ago. I did find a couple of boxes of those 555 round boxes of 22, so I was pretty stoked about that. Jumped right on it. I still have some of that left, which is cool. Moose Legion. I have a bad firearm addiction. I've got the bug. Bad. How many firearms do you have in your house? No, not enough. But that anybody who enjoys firearms, isn't that always the answer?
That's kind of opposite to tell them how many firearms you have.
Yeah,
you
that's
wouldn't do
just.
that in a public forum, would you?
No, I wouldn't on a public forum say how many guns I have. I don't even tell my friends in private how many guns I have. That's pretty much just for me to know. Alright, let's get caught back up on some more. John Thebo, what's 22? I didn't think they made that anymore. You know, if you close your eyes and you imagine really hard, it was this really cool round that was really cheap and was really great for plinking. And all of the firearms training stuff that applies to the larger calibers. It used to be really convenient. You know, in the olden days. Let's get caught back up. Del Reed, good answer on how many firearms. Never enough. Yeah, that's how I feel. My gun, like, do-want list is never ending. And every time I do save up and I get something, I'm really excited. And I don't ever get buyer's remorse, or at least I haven't yet, you know, knock on wood. But I end up finding, like, 3 additional guns to replace that spot on my gun list of the do-want list. But oh, by the way, I had said I would show an art piece or two. These are just like sketches and stuff. I'm not some sort of like super amazing artist or anything. But here's a little bit of the work that I did in a class exercise. We just had to do cross hatching, which isn't something I play with a lot. But pencil is definitely my worst medium. But I still thought it was kind of interesting just to to look at, and I told you I would, so there you go. I'm not some kind of like super awesome artist, but I really enjoy the process. Colleen Barnett, Destiny, what gun is at the top of your do-want list? Well, right now I really want a Tanfoglio, but the TZ75. So it's essentially exactly the same as the CZ, but I want a Tanfoglio because I do. Oh, I'm being told that I didn't hold it up high enough. I'm sorry.
Actually, no. It didn't really show all
Better? Sorry. Lance Stone. I hate that due to Czech being a small market, the price for firearms is relatively high. I've had a number of people tell me that it's similar in Europe in general. It's kind of a bummer. Dmitry Volkov. That's really good, Des. Like the different shading with that the pencil offers. Oh, I definitely don't think it's really good because some of the other people in my class like kind of make me want to set all my art supplies on fire and pretend I've never even heard of art. But here's some. This was actually charcoal that we did, but then we used charcoal and water, which was kind of cool. I had never played with that before. It was just an exercise so we could learn how to utilize a dry medium. That's one of my favorites. Dad's giving me a face over one of my pieces that I haven't even shown you. He's like, that's not very good.
I don't like that one.
He's like, I don't like that one. Oh, I do like it.
I'm not a supportive dad. I don't like that.
Well, that was what the girl looked like, okay? It's not my fault.
Oh, that's what she looked like?
Yeah, she was leaning down, and I'm just going to show you, and you can decide whether or not it's bad or good. But we had to do portraits of other people in the class, and so this is one of the portraits. I just liked the expressive quality of the charcoal, and I like using the white charcoal and the dark medium. I thought that was kind of interesting. It was more fun to play with. My teachers always tell me that I have more of an expressive quality to my work, and it's less exacting in its realism, but has more emotion in it, so I pretend that means it's okay. Let's see here. Scott Messino, I thought that was pretty good, Dad, and I would know. See, Dad? She just was looking down, okay? That's what she looked like.
But I really, really love this piece.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I have one more. I had to draw this, really goofy chick in my class. She's kind of geeky. She's kind of, into guns and Batman and really weird stuff. She always has messy hair, all the time. But at least she sat really still while I was drawing her, so, at least there's that. That's probably one of my favorites, though, because it turned out the most, realistic. Nate Schultz, I think Dad of Destiny should show some of his artwork, ... Trumped! He actually got me started, with sketching and drawing when I was a kid. My dad's been really supportive of any of my interests, even if he's straightforward with what he thinks about my work, which I don't mind. That's why I tell you guys in YouTube, and my commenters and viewers on YouTube, that I have such a thick skin. It doesn't. Dad, I'm trying to have a conversation here. I totally lost my train of thought.
You were saying how supportive I was.
Yeah. Well, in my family, we have this means of communication where basically we're goofy all the time, and we'll definitely be really supportive and loving and everything, but we're massively, sarcastic and sassy and blunt. Actually, my sister tells me all the time, Destiny, you need a filter. Because apparently I am really, really bad at that. Nate Schultz. Ha 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 ha! Woodman! He's an artiste. Okay, getting caught back up on some comments. John B. I can't draw. I did not inherit that part of my mother. I'm fortunate that both my parents have been pretty supportive of my artistic endeavors. The way I like to look at it is I do so much left brain stuff, like my science and English and things like that, that I gotta kind of balance it out with having some right brain creative work. And that, I think, also is something. It's just in my family. We're all creative, whether we're like producing music or art, or some of my family gets into theater and drama. It's cool. Curb and Justic. Sarcasm is great fun until people think you're being sarcastic and funny, and you're just telling them what you really think of them. Yeah, I kind of sometimes have a problem with that. Like, some of my friends will think it's funny, and then some of them will just get like really ticked off and take it really personally. Like, I try to be careful with how I speak to somebody, especially if I don't know them. I will, try to tone down the sarcasm, but if you're in my circle of friends, nobody is safe. And actually, you'll know that I'm closer with you because I will like call you worse names and like be sassier. It's all in good fun, though. I never go far enough to like actually hurt somebody's feelings. And if there's even an unintentional like injury due to someone's character, I apologize and make amends and whatever. It's just part of who I am. Moose Legion. Seems like you have an awesome dad. I absolutely do. He's like one of the coolest people I know ever, and I'm just fortunate that he also happens to be a really huge part of my life. Del Reed, you have a great family, Dest. That's the most important thing in the world. It is to me. My family is absolutely number one. If anything I'm doing gets in the way or would cause some sort of wedge or problem between my family, immediately it's out. They're my number one. Charger 8924, can you do a singing vid of Evanescence My Immortal? I can, not right now. The only thing with singing Amy is she's a little higher than I am, so I have to work harder. Although running absolutely has helped me sing better because it has increased my range. I have more breath to put into maintaining my lines and everything. It's great. Handgun newbie. Just got my first holster, a Henry holster. Should I just wear it as much as possible to get accustomed to it? Any ideas for breaking in or adjusting to it? Absolutely. I love this question. Anytime I get a holster, I spend at least 2 weeks, usually more like a month or even 2 months, wearing it around the house all the time. Even wearing it without the gun in it, just to, like with my leather-backed holsters, like my Aegis Armory or my Crossbreeds, or like my Crossbreed or Aegis Armories, I will wear them until that leather starts to break in, and eventually, when I'm removing it from my jeans, it starts to have the curve of that spot on my hip where I carry it, or my stomach, or wherever it is that I'm carrying it. But wearing it inside my house is important for me to first get a feel for how it sits, for where I need to cant it, if it needs a cant or it needs adjustment, or how high or how low it is, stuff like that. That I'll spend just a couple of weeks just in the house, and then once I feel a little bit more comfortable, at that point the leather is starting to fit me comfortably, and then I'll wear it outside with the outfits that I know it'll conceal really well with, and I don't have to try to like finagle. And that gives me a better idea of how it moves with me, where it likes to, yeah, basically. So that's the way I like to break in holsters. It's kind of a time-consuming process, but leather doesn't break any quicker than it wants to break. And that's also why I lean towards leather or hybrid holsters over just Kydex, because Kydex is, well, maybe you can adjust the cant, maybe you can't, maybe you can adjust the retention, maybe you can't. It's harder to like customize it to my specific body and my specific needs. By the way, is everybody having connection problems, or how's the connection? Is it buffering a lot? Because I only know what it looks like on my feed unless you mention it. Jesse Vanderhayden says, yeah, laggy. Dmitry Volkov says, no, ma'am. Rua Tonem says, yeah, it just went crazy in the last few minutes. Lil Taz74 says, yep. And Jennifer Young says, and we're back now after a refresh. Savage Henry says, lag. Joe the Beat says, I crashed, but I think it was on my end. Dad of Destiny. Eric Kimichik, yes, wow. Nate Schultz, it's starting to feel like fall. You know what that means, bonfires and cigars. I do that in the summer anyway. Although fall is definitely my favorite season. The only thing I don't like about fall is that it means we're that much closer to winter, which makes me sad. Alessio Baldi says, now it seems to be okay. Charger8924 says, it froze a couple of times and jumps around. Scott says, my audio goes in and out. John says, it's blurry for me. John Thebo, what was the knife you showed last time? That was the Benchmade 275 Adamas. They have a couple of different versions of it, fixed blade, an automatic, deploy. But I prefer the folder. It's more convenient for me. I did bring one today. Where did I... Ah. Today it's the Voyager by Cold Steel. I always have playing in my head when I have this knife. That's not a knife. Now that's a knife. But that's because I'm really, really cheesy. It's not my fault. Scott Messino, you smoke cigars? Get out of Dodge. Yeah. Let's see. What have I had? Lately I've been smoking a couple of Onyxes. I seem to like those. Coibas, too. Those generally seem to be the ones that I'll gravitate toward. But I'll try new cigars if they're around, but otherwise, I don't know. I only smoke like once in a while, like maybe a couple of times during the summer, because I only want to smoke outside when the weather is nice and in good company. It's not as much fun to just smoke just to smoke. Kind of like it's not as much fun to drink just to drink. But, now and then. Jesse Vanderhayden, I love riding motorcycles in the fall. I like the nice crisp air. Oh man, in Wisconsin, just everywhere has just like blown up with the Harley's 110th, I think. There have been bikes just, no matter where I go in the state, they're just working out of the woodwork. It's awesome. I've gotten to see a lot of really cool bikes. I love the feeling of the air too, because it's like not too warm generally. I can still run around with like my hoodies, which I absolutely love. I have like way too many hoodies. I probably have like 20 or 30 of them, which I know is totally ridiculous, but I'm a girl and I really like hoodies, and I'm gonna pretend that that's a good enough excuse. Moose Legion, shoot the same amount in the winter desk? Absolutely. I don't shoot outside as much, so I don't shoot as much like, long gone, but there are pistol ranges or indoor ranges within a reasonable drive for me, so I don't mind driving a little ways to go out and shoot, especially in the winter when I want something to, alleviate the boredom. Kerbin Justic, I hope you appreciate what I am going through to watch this video. My frame rate on Star Wars is just tanked. I'm sorry. Thank you for chatting with us. I haven't watched Star Wars in forever. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my 50K giveaway because super awesome, cool sauce, my channel actually hit 50,000 subscribers recently, which is just really wonderful. I I need some help with my giveaway, though. What I was initially going to do is, I call it the 50 for 5, where I was going to use the 50,000 subscribers following my channel to help promote other channels that are smaller than 5,000 subscribers. And how I thought I was going to run it was have people submit video responses, like 30 seconds about their channel, and direct my subscribers to go check out those video responses. And then I was going to have comments to be able to vote, and then whoever got the most votes would get a prize, and then there would be just a Destiny's Choice Award. Whatever video I happened to think was coolest or funniest or whatever would win a different prize. But YouTube got rid of video responses, so now I'm kind of at a loss for what I should be doing instead, because I really want to be able to support the viewers who, you know, have been watching my channel. And I know how difficult it is to try to get a newer channel off the ground. I remember it. It's especially in this market today too. There are so many YouTubers. It's hard to kind of bring your channel forward. There's just a lot of, I guess, viewership competition, so to speak. So, what recommendations do you have? I was thinking of maybe like posting a blog post about it and trying to have voting options like a poll or something, and have people submit their videos through the blog. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it now. Let me get caught back up on some comments here. And have a drink. Sorry, all this talking, like, I get really dry. Handgun newbie. Have people make videos and have them put a hashtag in the name. That could be an option.
That's what YouTube recommends. Maybe you could find them and maybe put them in a playlist.
Yeah, maybe I could do that and put them in a playlist and direct people to go check out that playlist. Jennifer Young, no vid responses on YouTube? And what is YouTube again? That doesn't make sense. From what I read on their blog post about it was that the video responses just don't have really great click-through rate, so they decided it's not really worth it to have them, and poof, they're gone. But that worked so well for running, you know, giveaways and stuff. So I kind of need some help. Let's see here. Looking through. Okami Jigoku. Sucks to be us people who can't make a video for that comp. Moose Legion video. An editing tutorial would be nice. I will totally think about that. Lance Stone. I know that. I'm kind of an actor. Smile. That's funny. Dmitry Volkov. Gotta run, Des. Thanks for chatting. Stay safe out there. Thanks for joining, man. You have a good one. And Jofa Beats. We killed the internets. Oh no! That's like my whole livelihood and everything. I'd be awfully bored sans internets. I do so much reading and researching and watching YouTube videos. Jofa Beats. Des is now a still image here. Urgh. Curb Majestic. My face breaks the video cameras anyways. When I am like waiting and getting lighting set up and stuff, I have a habit of making silly faces. Especially when whoever is holding my video camera isn't paying attention. That doesn't always work though. One day I'll put some of that stuff in the bloopers or put in bloopers or something. I have so much like silly footage. Just because I like to try to have entertaining videos, but I also want to not like skimp on the information. We came up with a word for it, edutainment, and I absolutely love that. I think it's fabulous. Alessio Baldi, you must make other bloopers vid. Oh, there you go, Dad. I guess I gotta. It's just I have to go through.
Plenty of bloopers.
I know I have plenty of bloopers. It's the same silly stuff that you see me do here. It's the same stuff that I do on camera, except I have the option of when I take like 5 times to say something, I could just cut out the first 4 where it didn't make sense and just use the good one. But, you know, a lot of times I leave my mistakes in. As long as they're not like... If they take away from the video and then it just looks like, okay, do you know what you're talking about? Just because I don't want to let my nervousness on camera impede in delivering information, you know. Born Freeman, Des, will you explain the YouTube Badass Showdown? Oh man, I get such a huge kick out of that. The gun blog, Guns Nut, they decided to host this, like, competition. It's all in fun and games. It's just to be silly and have fun. But they are pitting different members of the firearms industry. I think they're all like YouTubers. It's just a big joke. And they're like determining who's the most like badass. But here's the funny thing. If you are like a legitimate or like I guess respected YouTuber or gun tuber if you prefer that they like, well then you lose. And you don't move on in the competition. It's only the people who, you know, oh man, their videos are ridiculous for X, Y, and Z reasons. They're the ones who move on in the competition. It's kind of confusing, but it's funny. Basically, the channels that you really like, you want them to lose. The channels that you really don't like, they're the ones you want to move on. So, I guess the way it works out is the lamest of the YouTube channels ends up winning the whole contest. That's supposed to be the premise. And if you lose, then you must be a pretty okay channel. Jofa Beats, so that means you lost already? Aw, thank you. Actually, I go up against another channel. I can't remember whose.
Around veteran, I think.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Yes, that's what I said.
Yes. Apparently. Well, I didn't think that we were in the same bracket, but I guess. I'm up it's either tomorrow or the day after. I'd have to go and check the site out.
None of it means anything.
It's just, you know, for kicks and giggles. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody, you know, there's no, like, impact to business. There's no awards handed out or demerits given or anything. It's just, you know, to be silly and to talk about some of the YouTube channels that people like and don't like. Moose Legion, do you edit your own articles? I have a phobia of other people reading my papers and stuff. I edit my articles, but then I also, especially pieces that I'm really worried about looking a certain way and being presented in a certain way, I run those through an editor. But I am managing editor for the Arms Guide, so I am that person for everybody else. All the other content basically goes through me. Mostly what I do is, you know, dot I's, cross T's, fix typos, correct grammar. Once in a while, I'll have some questions on clarification, like, hey, you said this, and from a reader's perspective, this is what it means to me. Is that what you wanted? If not, you know, let's revise or something. Oh, I just brought on 3 new authors for 3 new contributors for the tag team. So our team is growing. I'm really excited about that. I introduced 2 of them yesterday, I believe it was, and now there's another one that I'll be introducing very shortly. And that'll make it that much easier for us to be putting out content for you guys every day on the Arms Guide. So if you're interested in the stuff that we're publishing, head over, check it out, and give us some comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Moose Legion, how many different accents can you do? That's a good question. I've never really counted them. My family in general is kind of linguistically inclined, I guess you would say. So we're pretty good at both, just everybody in my family is pretty good at picking up accents, especially if we've been listening to something in a movie. We've taken to learning languages fairly easily. So probably I don't know, a good handful of them. 6 or more. If I watch it or if I hear it, then I can mimic it. Just off the top of my head, it's probably fewer. I don't know, maybe only 4 or 5, but that's just something that we do for fun all the time. Like, we'll quote movies and quote music back to each other all the time. We have definitely had, like, my dad, my brother, my sister, and I, we've all had complete conversations using, like, movie quotes, which I get a huge kick out of, but it drives some of my friends nuts.
Remember you picked out this video for the FoD Blitz?
Oh!
This one, the Brothers Keeper 111.
So, do you guys remember the FoD Blitz from last week? Because I totally want to do it again this week, and I have found another video that I'd like to go and visit. It is by Brothers Keepers 111. And the video is Killing Trolls with Kindness. What I ask you guys to do for the FoD Blitz is to go over to this video, Brothers Keepers video, and leave a comment saying something about FoD Blitz or FoD sent me or something to that effect. Or something creative. But pop over there and show their video, show, in this case, Brothers Keepers video, a little bit of love. And I will read the comments as they develop. It's just something that I really like. I really like doing to help support my other friends in the YouTube world. And I will go ahead and read comments, but give me 2 seconds here. I need to bring it up so that I can actually watch the comments and read them for you. Because it's fun. I like to be able to share that with everybody. Oh, here it is. Okay, and I will be trolling the comments section so I can see when comments are popping up. Alright, ready? Go, 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 go! I see Colleen has already started. Keeping Peace 2010 says, FoD sent me. Blitz time! Oh, Eric Kumachek, I love the tag. All the writers are awesome. The articles are great. Oh, thank you. Oh, for those of you who are asking which video, if you didn't catch it, it's the Killing Trolls ... with Kindness. And I will read your Blitz comments as they update.
If that video was created 1 week ago.
The video was created a week ago, so it's not like right on top, but if you go to his channel and search in his videos, Killing Trolls, it'll be the first one that pops up. Alright, let me refresh my page. Forty Cal Jeeper, the FoD crew likes your stuff. Smile. Darth Groover, that's fabulous. FoD Blitz. Alice Sniper, 85. FoD Blitz incoming. You're FUBAR, LOL. Saturn Sport, 8K2. FoD Blitz. Finish mowing the lawn, dude. Oh, I should totally mow the lawn. I should do that tomorrow. Where do we leave off here? Charger 8921. FoD Blitzkrieg. Christopher Miller. Onslaught of the Army of Destiny. GJR 4315. You have been blitzed by FoD. I absolutely love doing this, by the way, guys. So thank you so much for participating.
It's fun.
Love from Destiny and Friends. Blitz. Kerbin. By Fofire77. Jennifer Young. FoD told me to come here. Lancelot D. Stone. I think your beard looks okay. Not as gray as it will eventually get. Wink. Ooh, you sassy. Savage Henry, 762. Dusty Blitz. That makes me think of that song. It's a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Yes, I did read the upside down comment. I read it right side up, though. Chris Miller, Destiny's Destroyers, D squared.
Wow, what bunch of them just came in.
Del Reed, FoD Blitz, who are we commenting? If you haven't already, pop over onto YouTube, go to Brothers Keepers 111, and look for his video, Killing Trolls, ... with kindness.
He's been commenting your videos for like 2 years now.
I think he's been watching my videos almost since the beginning of the channel.
You had like 500 subs.
Yeah, so probably like 2.5 years, which is really awesome. That he's just plain a nice guy.
This thing is not
Yeah.
great.
Excavator E by EE for FOD. Go team! Handgun newbie. Rawr! FOD's army of T-Rex keyboard warriors have arrived. Fear our short arms of might. So strong! Ken Fuller, FOD Blitz. We are all one brotherhood of Americans. Well, there are some of us that aren't even Americans, which is pretty baller.
Or sisterhood.
Oh, also a sister. Brother and sisterhood. That'd be a siblinghood. Is that the PC way to say that? Mr. Junior 510. FOD Blitz. Booyah! Savage Gunfighter 21. Des! Blitz! By John B! Eric K. FOD Blitz. Okami Goku 13. FOD Blitz for the win! Absolutely for the win. Oh man, you guys come up with some really funny comments sometimes. You crack me up. Bo Cantrell. FOD Blitz! Happiness is the best revenge. True story. Lance Stone. I like being sassy. I know that feel. I'm fortunate, I guess, that my personality type is just so that, well, I'm very introverted, so I develop friendships very slowly, but by the time that I have someone who I consider to be, like, a really good friend, like, all bets are off. It ends up being a lot of fun for me, and, well, hopefully a lot of fun for the other people.
Isn't that the whole kind of premise behind the 5 for 50 for 5? Are you going to touch on that? I mean, that's kind of what you're after, right? To band together and help.
What we've been doing with the FOD Blitz is basically what I want to do with the 5 for 50 project. Yeah, I want to be able to take our force, our commenting might, and head over to somebody else's video, but an even smaller channel's video, a less than 5,000 subscriber channel video, and head over there and like just blitz them with comments, and use that to help, because that helps them grow. And I want to be able to spread that kind of community interaction. I know some of these channels, like some of the smaller ones, the less than 5K channels, they can gain like months worth of progress in one day if they get enough views to a particular video, and enough subscribers through this whole interaction that I'm proposing. I'd really like to see it work and like to be able to help people in the community. I just think it would be an awesome effort, and I know you guys could really help me out if we just like band together as a team. You know? Was everybody able to find the video, by the way? I noticed a whole ton of comments on it, so I'm really excited about it, and thank you so much for joining in. Oh, a couple more. Should I be here? Destiny says, you have been FOD blitzed! Randy House, FOD blitz! Moose Legion, dinner time, Des! Thanks! Oh, that reminds me, we had one of these live streams where near the end we were all talking about food, and I was absolutely, like, dying of starvation by the time the live stream was over. Like, why can't I eat? Nobody wants to see me eat dinner on camera. I promise you that. It's not a neat endeavor. Hinga newbie, when you sell a patch, it has to be a purple T-Rex. I will have to think about that. I've never even.
Gosh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's pretty fabulous. I've never even considered making a patch. That might be really fun. I'll have to look into that and see what I can do about that. Plus, it gives me an excuse to doodle. I've been working on a couple of other projects, but they're not done yet. So when I finish them, that will help me. Let's get caught up on some comments here. Thor to Shane, damn it, today's Tuesday. I thought it was Monday, stupid Labor Day. I was wondering where you were. You've been, like, really regular with catching all of the streams up to this point. Oh, Del Reed, Destiny, I know it's not appropriate to ask a woman her age, but you have me perplexed. Your wisdom, knowledge, and even vocabulary suggests you are far older than you look. Well, I'm old enough to have my permit, but I think that's about all you're going to get out of me on that question. I mean, the lady never tells her age. My vocabulary definitely is a direct correlation with my reading. I've always been just a voracious reader since I was a kid. Had teachers taking books away. I would be I'd get tucked into bed at night as a little one and have the covers up over my head and then have a flashlight. And then my mom would come in at like midnight and she'd tell me, Destiny, okay, put the book away. You need to actually get some sleep now. And then about 2 in the morning, she'd come back in. And I'd quickly try to hide everything, turn the flashlight off, and like pretend I was asleep, which I don't know why as a kid you think that's super effective, but your parents always know. They can always tell that you're not sleeping. And then she'd be like, Destiny, I'm serious. Where's the flashlight? Give me the flashlight. So then I would take the book, get out of bed, walk to the corner of the door, and because there would be light on in the hallway, and put the book in the crack of the door so that I could read by the light from the hallway. I was determined. You gotta give me credit for that at least. By the way, Del Reed, thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate the nice things that you had to say, even if they're a little bit unwarranted, and I'm undeserving of the credit. Let's see, let's get caught. Jennifer Young, well, Des, it's been fun partaking in my first FoD live stream. Have a great week. Bye! Fare thee well, Jennifer. It's been an absolute pleasure having you chat with us. I hope you make it to a future chat. It's nice having some more, like, females on the chat because I totally have that perspective of a female firearms enthusiast. It's fabulous. Lil Taz74, speaking of missing, where's Yankee Marshall? Yeah, I noticed he didn't make it to this chat either. But he's made it to an awful number of them. It's wonderful. He always cracks me up so bad. I'll just be in the middle of saying something, catch one of his comments, and just like, that's it. Yeah, it can be pretty ridiculous, but it's generally in a good ridiculous. We only have like 10 minutes left of the chat, which is another one of those conversations that has really just flown by, which makes it easier because I often start them out so nervously. Thor to Sheen, Yankee's on vacation. Hey, that's cool. Joe Fabeats, he's busy blocking subscribers. John V, yeah, Yankee missed. I need my comedy. I know, right? I'm sorry. I'm not as funny.
You're not very funny.
Dad's just like, no, you're not very funny. He'll just be out there. Womp womp. Anyway, a couple of things. Oh, wait, one more question. Alessio Baldi, are you reading any book right now? Or if you're not, what was the last that you read? I, have a habit of reading a few books at once. Right now, I am rereading Stephen King's Wolves of the Kala, part of the, or Kaya? I can't actually remember how it's supposed to be pronounced. It's the 5th book in the Dark Tower series. I've read that series a lot. I've also read the Lord of the Rings series a lot. I reread them because I enjoy them so much. But I also started a new series. I had a friend who said, hey, if you like Stephen King and you like Tolkien, you're probably going to like Robert Jordan. And so now I'm reading the Robert Jordan Wheel of Time series. I recently finished the 1st book, and now I'm reading The Great Hunt, which is the 2nd book. And I have about 200 pages left, so I'll probably finish it tonight. But I don't know if I want to get the 3rd book or go back to finishing reading the 5th book in the Dark Tower series. But I read a lot of fiction stuff. I do so much research for my work and for the writing that I do on the Arms Guide that my fun reading, I like to go in a complete opposite direction and just read something completely fantastical with magic and dragons and fighting. Okami Jigoku, by the way, Des, just got your autograph pick a couple of weeks ago, and the ship date was in June 2nd. Holy cow, that took forever. Where are you? That it took like 12 years to get to you. Okami Jigoku, for some reason I could never get into Stephen King. That's just all I have to say about that. I grew up on his writing, well, sort of. My dad wouldn't let me start reading him until I was like 13, but he is my all-time favorite author. Even though he doesn't really know about firearms, and he wrote about having to disengage the manual safety on a Glock, and wrote about a 44 auto Ruger pistol. But Joe Fabit's vids, writing, reading, shooting. When do you sleep? Oh, yeah, never mind. Sleep is for the weak. Actually, I did sleep last night, and it was wonderful. I had forgotten how much I like it.
What did you sleep, like 4 hours?
Well, I slept like 4 hours. No, it was like 5 hours. Sort of. Yeah. Well, it felt like great sleep. I must have just gotten a lot of like REM sleep or something. I felt rested when I got up, which I usually don't. And then I pout, and then I get caffeine, and then it's okay. I mentioned that I write for a living. I'm managing editor for the Arms Guide, but I also am one of the leading contributors for the site. I write almost every day, and even if I'm not posting it every day, I have a lot of material that I get out on the site. And we have a crew of, I think it's now 11 contributors. How awesome is that? I mean, we started off with just me. And they're all wonderful people with firearms experience. Some of them are military, some of them are law enforcement, and some of them are just, learned shooting from their family in their backyard or through YouTube videos like I did. We post an article every day, and we're always interested in hearing your feedback. So if you haven't stopped by the Arms Guide, pop on over to the site, thearmsguide.com. Leave us some comments. Let me know what you think. I also contribute to The Bang Switch, which is hosted by Tim from the Military Arms channel. Really enjoy writing for that site. I'm a less regular contributor because of how much I work for the Arms Guide, but the content there I enjoy as well. And I should have some more posting to that site very soon. So keep your eyes peeled and let me know what you think. Drop by a comment and, well, it's all about guns and gear and stuff. So if you enjoy this kind of conversation, you probably enjoy the writing over on the Arms Guide and at the Bang Switch. Also, this recording of the live stream, I will be posting later during the week at youtube.com/FateofDestinee. The live stream from last week will be going live later. Next week's live stream will be held the same place, new.livestream.com/FateofDestinee at the same bat time, which is 7 p.m. Central, or for you Easterners, 7 or 8 p.m. I think that's all of the things that I like to, go over. Oh, Scott Messino, check out his Shining sequel. I'm totally looking for that. I haven't gotten it yet, in part because I just picked up the second book in the Wheel of Time series a couple of days ago, and because I go through books so quickly, it gets expensive. Even though I read on an e-reader, I love my Nook. It's fabulous. I know it doesn't have the same exposure as Kindle does with their, or Amazon does with the Kindle, but I just like it. It's really convenient. I have it on me pretty much all the time. So even though the ebooks are a little cheaper than paperbacks, the way I read, I can rack up quite a bill, which is I just have to keep my eye on it. Thor to Shane, go with Wheel of Time. Much better. Well, I already own the whole Dark Tower series, so I don't have to pay for that to go reread it. The Wheel of Time I'm buying piecemeal, and I just bought the first 2 books in the past 8 days, so I have to keep an eye on it. It's basically either books or ammo, and that ends up being a struggle for me. Go figure. Jofa Beats, Tag always has interesting articles. Well, thank you. I like to think so. I read through everything before anybody posts, but having the benefit of having 11 different people who are all interested in firearms makes for some really great discussions, some great topics come up in our articles. I enjoy reading them just as much as I enjoy writing the articles. Del Reed, I see your time is almost up. Thank you for an entertaining hour and a half. Beats TV all the hell, lol. Oh, I totally started watching Sherlock. I haven't made it to The Walking Dead.
On Netflix?
Yeah, but on Netflix I started watching Sherlock. And so for those of you who recommended that I finally give it a watch, yes. Just yes. I absolutely love it. It is so much fun. And Stephen Moffat writes for both shows, so it kind of makes sense that I would enjoy both Doctor Who and Sherlock. So thank you for that. Again, that was awesome. Yeah, I still haven't made it to The Walking Dead. I'll get around to it eventually. I just need my little, I needed a hit of sci-fi with the Doctor Who, and then I liked that so much, switched over to more Stephen Moffat's content. I don't know, I'll work my way through it. I think there's only a little bit of Sherlock up on Netflix, so as I go through my episodes piecemeal, I found a wonderful way to watch the couple of TV shows I like, is I'll have my iPad, and I'll put my Netflix on there, and then I'll walk and do my run on the treadmill watching my Netflix, so that's how I get my television in. Kerber Justic, and Firefly, woman! I added that to my instant queue last night. I will get there. I will totally be watching that eventually. Probably sooner rather than later, because that looked a little bit interesting when I was reading through some of the little blurbs. Colleen Barnett, great chat, Dest. Have a great week. Bye, y'all. Lance Stone, Doctor Who! I'm a total Whovian. For sure. For sure. I was just talking about that with my brother, yesterday. By the way, for the people who had buffering issues, I'm really sorry. I'll try to figure something out, and I will see you guys next week, hopefully. It's been a wonderful chat, and I enjoy any of the time that you spend talking with me about guns and gear, and occasionally movies and television and food and art and everything. Life, the meaning of the universe. Bye, guys.